Hi y'all. As he said, my name is Vaidehi, and I'll be talking about women in sports. Uh, when these guys asked me to come here and speak in front of you about women in sports, I was like, yes, I get to be famous. But as I started writing points about women in sports, I suddenly thought that really, we are in 21st century where women are going toe to toe with men, and we are talking about women in sports under the heading of inclusion still. I mean, I was surprised. But at the same time, the subject needs to be spoken about. So here I am talking about women in sports. I'll start with my own story because, I'm cool that way. So, as he said that I am obviously an engineer because every other person in India is an engineer. So, yeah, I started my engineering. I knew that I'm not an engineer, realistically speaking. Engineers are brilliant. I wasn't. But as I started my college years, I started playing football, because every boy in engineering colleges play football. And I was excited, so I started playing with them. And that sport got me so excited that I decided, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to be an engineer. I'm not going to work 9 to 5 desk job, So I want to make my career in sports. Yeah, okay, fine. But what's next? How do I do that? I needed a right course, a right path to be on. So I started searching for different courses. And I came across a unique course called Football Industries MBA, FIMBA for short. And it's a course in University of Liverpool. It's a very unique course. Nobody else, none of the universities in anywhere else has that kind of sports. So I enrolled for it. And when I went there, somebody over there, some faculty over there told me that I was the first Indian woman to do such a course. And I was really happy, But at the same time, I felt really sad because what it told me that none of the other women even thought of pursuing career in sports, which was a sad part. But also I was happy because, kind of pioneer. And then that course led me towards an internship, which was also a unique opportunity. UEFA, do you guys know what UEFA is? UEFA is a European footballing body, which is a big deal. They organize Champions League and so many different leagues. So this was a very unique opportunity for me to work with UEFA. There was another guy from my class. We both were the first Indians to do an internship with UEFA. It was a joint internship with UEFA and another organization called Asian Football Development Project. And I was lucky to have a project which was on women's football in India. And that project threw me all over the country. I traveled horizontal and verticals and diagonals of India. It took me to, obviously, Delhi, Bangalore, but it also took me to northeastern regions, which are a lot untouched. And it was an amazing experience for me because none of the women or girls I knew had ever done that. And it surprised me because it was like a question for me, why not? Why aren't other women or girls so excited about working in sports? So I started researching on it, right? And, I am a city-born girl. So obviously I have not gone through all the gender bias. My family is amazing. They supported me throughout my life. But that doesn't mean that the problems don't exist. And these problems I faced when I actually started going out, talking to people, talking to other women, everybody who was working in sports field, women's sports field for that matter. some of the problems are very serious. Some of the problems are on surface not so serious, but when you actually think about it, are. More serious problems are like child marriage. Still in rural India, girls do get married when they are 10, 12, 13, and I actually saw these girls. When I went to a small village in Assam, in Bodo lands, I saw girls getting married at the age of 10. They never get an opportunity to go to school or play for that matter. Sexual harassment is a big deal. It's a very serious problem, and it is done by the people we put our faith in, like coaches, selectors. And then there are some not so serious problems, but equally important, something like language. I am all for unity in diversity, right? I'm really proud of my country that we have so many different languages. But when a team comes together, do you guys remember a scene in Chak De India when the girl from the southern region of India comes for selection and the selectors don't know what she's saying, she doesn't understand what they are saying? It is real. It's real. You can see that when you actually travel around the country. The other part is attire. Guys, let me tell you, we are so lucky we get to wear shorts when we go out to play or sports appropriate attires. But the girls staying in rural regions, many of the schools have cancelled their teams, girls' teams, because they are not allowed to wear shorts. Or they are not allowed to go out in sun because their parents think they'll get tan, they'll get bruises, And who's going to marry them then? It's a problem. And also, of course, many of the city girls, including me, face before and after marriage problems. Before marriage, okay, fine. Guys come to you, they appreciate what you're doing. Oh my gosh, so cool that you're doing a career in sports. But when it actually gets to the point where you have to marry the girl who's dedicated to sports, not so much. Or after marriage, your husband or the family members of your husband or even your family members do not want you to play any sport when you are married. They want you to concentrate on, kitchen, husband, your full-time jobs. And, that makes me really sad inside here. I mean, are we really living in 21st century? Are we still equal? I don't think so. And the biggest problem I found is us, women. And I'm going to demonstrate a little bit. So I want every woman in this audience to raise her hand. Can you do that? Yeah? How many of you play sport? Look around. Look around, guys. Okay. Guys, raise your hands. All guys, how many of you still play sport? Look around. Why do we, okay, we're done. Why do we blame the other gender when we ourselves are not serious enough about sport? That is the most important problem in our society. If you want to break the norms, we have to be the one to break the norms. So while thinking about this, one thing came to my mind, that if you want to change the perspective of society looking towards you, then you have to lead by example. So what I did was, unknowingly, I already started that when I enrolled for Football Industries MBA. The second thing is I worked for 4 years in football field, which is a predominantly male field. But seriously, I'm telling you, I never experienced gender bias because I was very good at what I did. The third thing I did was I wanted to get in touch with women like me. So I founded Women in Sport India, which is a forum where all the women in sport can connect with each other, share knowledge, information. The fourth thing I did was I started my own company in sports. which is very rare. And, it was very satisfying for me. Starting something on my own, no desk job, I lead the way, and everybody else follows, right? I'm really happy with the result. So before I come to the conclusion, I have a story to tell. It's about a girl, a very, very young girl, staying in a far, far village, who wanted to play sports, who wanted to play football. But her parents, her society did not want her to do that. So what did she do? She cut her hair. She took a boy's name and she started playing in a boys' team. Nobody knew that she was a girl. And she was so good that the state associations, the clubs in that village started noticing her. And later on, she went on to become the national football team captain. Her name is Vaidehi. And when I met her, and when she told me this story, I was like, Hollywood in your face. So, what I got out of the story, 5 things I got out of the story. First, stop hiding behind the problems. Gender bias is there. Society doesn't look at you the way it should. So what? Do what you got to do. Stop hiding behind them. Second, be indispensable. Be so good at what you're doing, gender bias stays behind. People will start looking at you because of your work, not because of your gender. Third thing is very important because I feel that every woman, and it applies to every field, I feel, that stop underestimating yourself. It's the biggest obstacle in your path to success. Fourth thing is, I feel that the problem, we look at the problem from the problem's perspective. Stop looking at the problem. Look at the solutions. Get out of your comfort zone. Go out. Rebel a little. And fifth thing is, stop being scared. Stop being scared of what people are going to say about you. Stop being scared of society, social norms. Do what you're meant to do. Once you start doing that, the barriers will break automatically. And that's actually the message that I want to say to you and send out to the universe. And with that, I think I'll end my talk. Thank you.